Good morning. Morning. We're in August. A couple on the boat in front of us. Set off to look for that place. I don't know whether they actually found it or not. Yeah, but it's Sunday. Oh, it was Sarah's birthday yesterday, so now it's the 7th of August. And I'm doing the South Walsham walk. I put my fleece on thinking it might be a bit chilly. But I think I'll be taking it off soon. Looking like a gorgeous day again. Lucy was saying to her mum, weather forecast isn't looking so good. This was the week before she was coming away with us. And my mum said, oh, don't worry about that. Your dad always gets good weather. The sun shines on the right shits. You've heard that before, haven't you? Yeah, so I'm doing the walk. So you come down the path. And I've done this before, but I have new subscribers. You might not have seen it. So if you want to go for a walk, it'll take about an hour this. You just come down the path and keep going to when you get to a road and bear left, and then you'll see a footpath sign. Last time I was here, I saw a couple of deers running about. Not old deers, like women. You know them Chinese things, whatever they are. Right, so me and Jeff managed to do some fishing, quite a lot of fishing. Started off a bit slow, and then you just couldn't stop catching. Then it went quiet when the tide started to go out. So I went on the feeder and caught a couple of skimmers, but then it was going dark and the plan was to carry on fishing as long as I could see the rod stuck up in the sky. But we're getting bit. So I packed up. The girls made us a lovely salt and pepper chicken thing for our evening meal last night. Just a bit of chicken and salt and pepper seasoning, salad, some crispy bread. Quite nice. You don't need to have a big meal every night, do you? See, look at that. Awful weather. Well, it was a bit cool last night. Well, it was a lot cooler last night in bed, thankfully. This is the type of weather that'll do me down to the bloody ground. Low 20s to 25s, sunshine, no wind. Oh, I've brought my drone. Should be giving me grief about that. What's the point in taking it with you if you're not using it? Yeah, so I think the plans for the week, generally, not specifically, are to go for a cruise, find somewhere for lunch, and then just have a snack on the boat at night. Because I can't eat 3 meals a day, not 3 big meals. I'll have breakfast, and I might have a bit of a snack if I'm hungry, and then something later. So I think today, well, Jeff, you see, he said, oh, it's alright for you two, you're all cruised out. You're cruising all last week. So if we're not going to go far, it's going to be a bit boring for me. Jamming, isn't it? I says, we are going to go far, we're doing a cruise every day. But we're staying on the Northern Rivers. You can get from Wroxham to Great Yarmouth in 4 hours. 4.5, 5. So I think today what we want to do is go up the Ant, possibly Neatstead Staith or Gay Staith. I quite enjoyed Gay Staith last time. it's not as the problem with that is if you want to do some fishing and it gets full of boats, there's not much room, but at Neatstead at least you can go on the end, can't you, where the bench is. So we'll have some lunch, and then I was thinking we could go up to Sutton Staithe. There's the hotel there if you want to have a drink later, but we can also fish there. But somebody put on Facebook last night that closed at 6 o'clock last night. They must have staff shortages or there's something happened, because it's unusual, isn't it? Closing on 6 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah, I mean the only thing I know that we are going to do is, or try to do, is go to the King's Arms on Wednesday. Because Christine fancies the carvery. And last time I went there, I overfaced myself. So you start off, you can have 2 meats. I'll have pork and gammon please, thank you. Then you come to the roast potatoes. And then they have garlic potatoes. And then they have, well, everything looks really nice. So you try to put a little bit of it on your plate. And it's just piled up. So, I mean, my local is a Toby Carvery. And I go in there just for a couple of drinks with lads. And some of the clientele there, they have no problem polishing the plates off. Say no more. Right, so we're down at the visitor information TARDIS. And if you went that way, that'll take you to the village. I'm guessing that's where the village hall is. But you don't go that way if you're doing this walk, you come up here to the left. And then shortly, there's a path on the left that says footpath. Very shortly. Right here. And you go up this. And you keep going. So I'll come back to you when I get to the side of this field. Oh, anyway, no, I better tell you, I don't know if I've told you the story or not. I was at the water's edge. I mean, it's a lovely pub, it is expensive, but it is nice. And, well, we sat down having a drink and there was, I'm guessing he must have been a multi-millionaire, this fella, and his wife. We were actually inside the pub because there were too many wasps, and this he must have been about the same age as me, late 40s, well in his 50s then. Yeah, we won't go any further than that. And this younger, really attractive woman coming. I weren't lucky myself, it was Christine who pointed her out. And kissed him on the cheek. I said, "Hey darling." So his wife said, and they were pretty loud by this time, "Who the bloody hell's that?" He said, "That's my mistress." So I thought, should I get the camera out? But I thought, no, I better not. So she said, "Mistress? What do you mean mistress?" So he says, "It's my mistress, what's the matter with you?" She said, "I'm not having any of that, I want a divorce." So he says to her, "Right, fair enough. Don't think you'll get a penny off me. That Lamborghini I was going to get you for your birthday, forget that. That round the world cruise we're having, it's cancelled. And you're not having any houses that we own." So anyway, as they were having a bit of a set to, another bloke walks in with a younger woman and nods at him. He lets on to him. So his wife says, "Who's that?" She said, "That's Bill." "And who's that with him?" "That's his mistress." She said, She's not as pretty as ours, is she? True story. I'm gonna go. I don't know why I put this fleece on. I'm gonna be going 10 minutes. It's boiling now. Right, so when you come over the field, well, you're on one side of the field coming up, and then it swaps over to this side of this field. You get to the end, and you're on a bit of a road. You can turn right, but don't do that. Turn left up here. Right, I'm going to take the fleece off. Now I've got myself confused. I can't remember when I went up there last time. I was straight up here. I think I went straight up here because it was a wider track. Anyway, we had the customary running of engines till 9 o'clock, and so we've got a barbecue, a cob, and you can actually lift them up from the outside. But when we'd seen that they'd banned barbecues at Salhouse, and I don't think they're recommended really, because well, I've not had any rain down here for weeks hardly. So I left it in the bus, and the boat behind us, they had a barbecue. It was a postable one. It wasn't. Oh yes, this is it. See, you've got a path here. Now you can actually go up that side, but I think it's a little bit rough. So you carry on up this main path, the dirt track. It wasn't a disposable one, but I've just walked down, and then there's a little gap. There's a lot of nettles behind the mooring, and there's a gap to every so often so you can get onto the proper path. And all the coals are just thrown on the floor there. Definitely shouldn't have put my fleece on. Oh, that's another thing that winds me up, beside the price of fuel. I mean, inflation, God, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But how can cemeteries blame it on the cost of living to put the prices up? Doesn't make sense to me, that. Right. This is the problem when I go on a walk. Stupid random thoughts jump into my mind. Now this is round about where I saw the deer last. No, it would have been. When would that have been? In April. Possibly. I'll have a look farther up. We're at the gate. It's a bit overgrown. You think it'd all be parched, wouldn't you, with the no rain? Some of the fields are getting a little bit brown. Oh, now then. We'll do this one-handed. I can do many things one-handed, but I'm not sure if this is one of them. Oh, you got it. Come on, get that. Come on. Oh, come on, good in. Right, so we got St Bennett's over there. The building in front here is the river. Well, obviously the building is not the river, it's on the river. That's where I flew my drone from in April, was it, I think. Yeah, it must have been, because if it was when Claire and Carl were there, they had to come for a walk. Right. Yeah, oh. Getting warm. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't think we actually did a basic itinerary, which I'll have to have a look at, but we know all the places. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, please yourself. Oops, oh no. I thought the bull was having some action then. On the Wakefield Bridge, the White Horse, lying in. All the usual suspects. We could even have a cruise down to Soaksby to cheer our Jeff up a bit. Bit of a longer cruise. Well, it's not much farther than Acle, is it? Well, yeah, I think it's a good idea. Just have a couple of hours each day. You can't cruise, booze and fish. Can't have it always, Jeffrey. Jeffrey? Anyway. Right. Oh, God. Yeah. Should have brought some water with me as well. My tanning consultant's really let me down this week. Not put any cream on me. My lips are all chapped, burnt on the top there since I shaved off. Burnt my head, burnt my nose. Getting buzzed by all sorts of stuff here. And yeah, thankfully I've been remembering to put my cap on, because I have had sunstroke before. And when you get that mixed with alcoholic poisoning, it can knock you out for a day. Right, so yeah, up the Ant. Tomorrow down to Acle, because that's a decent cruise for him. Then, what day is it? Is that my Monday? Tuesday we could go up to Potterham, possibly, see if we can get in there. Apparently the quiet mornings have been shut. Not too sure was it why. Say, well, my feet are absolutely, well, my shoes are. Good job they're waterproof. I didn't put my other ones on. It's well, the morning dew. Yeah, so we could go to right, yeah, so up the Ant, down to Acle, up. Oh, I don't know. Just play it by ear. What my real plans are. And it might not all work out because you've got to find a mooring, haven't you? Here's lunch somewhere. And then find a nice quiet mooring. Doesn't necessarily have to be away from a pub, as long as you can fish. There's a bit of room at the front and the back of the boat to fish, because it's not right for fishing off the boat really. There was a Brooms captain came. It was about just getting off at 9 o'clock. It was almost dark, and they came down the dyke, and it looked like to me to be 3 posts behind the boat that was in front of us. And the guy was saying, oh, we should get in there, we should get in there. I don't know if there's anything farther down. And when I thought there was no chance. I was saying, get my camera. I didn't think they'd have any chance of getting in. But they did. And then the couple who was on the boat in front of us came out, and I heard them chatting. And one of the guys said, if that guy weren't fishing there, we might have had a chance. But he didn't say it to me, because I'd have said, you've no chance here, pal, because there's a safety ladder, and you don't moor across them. Because that's purposely why I moored there, so that I'm fishing at the side of the safety ladder. There weren't enough room to get a bloody barrel in between us and the safety ladder. Anyway, maybe they don't know, and maybe they don't care. It's nothing to do with me. But if people ask, I will give them the benefit of my wisdom. Like the guy was fishing at the side, was when we got there. They were on. Oh, that was a different place. Oh yeah, they left. When we got there was Ramworth Breeze was moored up. And that's another syndicate boat that's moved over to Warning. And he'd done some fishing, but I reading between the lines, I think he was not experienced. Whew, God, it's getting warm now. So I was, oh good, oh my word. Get in. Get in, you bloody thing. So as far as it goes. Hang about. So, get off. Now I'm starting to sweat, you see, they'll be coming sucking at me, won't they? Last time in April I had to walk through there, didn't I, to get to that building. What a chance. Good grief. Right, if you go that way, you're heading down towards it, well, Thurnmouth. Third will walk down there from here. And then we're going up here to back around to the dyke. You can see past the cows, you can just see the top of the boat there. So it's a decent walk. You've got furry friends that need exercise. Yeah, so the guy in Ranworth Breeze, he was asking, well, I heard him say to his wife, I'll just sit here and watch the expert. I thought, not quite an expert, but... So, I was just telling him what I do. I always try to fish on the bottom at first. And obviously with it being tidal, if you fish it on the bottom at low tide, when the tide starts to come back in again, you won't be on the bottom for long. So you have to keep checking it. And I tend to, oh my word, nettles. I tend to just use double red maggot. And it always seems to work for me. If it doesn't, I'll try something else. Like last night, I had some Red Robin hookable pellets, soft pellets. I thought, oh, I'll just try them. Then I was casting the feeder out. I caught 2 decent skimmers with it. And then I went on sweet corn, I caught a couple more. 2 pieces of sweet corn on a rig, air rig. Well, quick stop rig. Right, just switch me off if that means nothing to you. Yeah, mix some ground bait up for the feeder. I got some method mix as well. I might try a method feeder later on this week sometime, depending where we are. I'd like to get at that Boundary Farms again, if we could. So maybe after we've been to Acle tomorrow. Oh no, that's the thing. That was on the agenda. Going down Upton Dyke and praying to God that all those bloody yachts are not moored up, so we'll have to reverse back out again. Upton Dyke, the White Horse, lunch in there, and then possibly, well, I don't know. I'm not in control this time. Just pop a few suggestions. Doesn't really matter to me. Did quite well yesterday in the end when we got moored up. Had a few beers while we were fishing. Bloody hell. Proper overgrown now. It's not quite as bad as last year up at Potter I am. The legs are wet now from the dew off the grass. Well, whatever it is. I don't think anybody actually trims this, do they? Anyway, I'm just waffling. See you later. Ooh. Oh. shorts are wet through. My fleeces that's been carrying is wet through. Got all bits of stuff all over me. But I'll dry and that'll brush off, so it's not a problem, is it? Note to self: don't do this walk in summer again. Not unless you've got waterproof leggings on. Still a distance off yet. It's not worth turning back because I've got to go through it all again what I've just gone through. With a machete. And one of them bloody hats with all corks hanging off it. I'm not well known over here, but I'm very big down under. Whew. T-shirt's wet through now as well. We've got the bivvies up, must have done an overnight session, or maybe to keep out the sun. But that's St Bennett's obviously, so I'm not far off the dike now. But if I say I enjoyed that walk, I'd be lying. It's uncomfortable. I just hope I don't get those bites like Christine had on her legs last year. Nasty, they were nasty. Whew, 8:20. That's going to take me over an hour, but that's because of wading through all this. Couldn't plan. You know, I might be up for making breakfast by the time I get back. That's the broom captain that was late mooring up. I heard him say that in this sort of morning, coming past St Bennett's thinking they could get in there, but there was a lot of gaps between boats. But he said nobody would move up. Now I don't know whether he'd asked anybody to move up or they just thought nobody did move up. Now then, see, this is not a bad little spot for your rond anchors. Yeah, it's taken me far longer to do this walk than usual. Guap on me guapes. Oh, made it back. So the path from the moorings right the way down to South Walsham Village. Decent. A fishing platform here as well. So that's an option as well, isn't it? If you want, if there's no room off the side of your boat. Bit of a walk with all your gear there. And then you've got to keep texting. Well, I've got Walkie Talkies. Christine, could you get me another beer please, dear? I don't think that'll go down well, would it? Right. Phew, right, so here we are. A lot more space here than I thought there was. I was thinking that if I wasn't fishing you could get in here. But do you see? You'd have to go over this. Not a good idea.